The primary focus of today's trip is going to be the Elks Lodge, but we will start first at the football-themed restaurant for Boca Juniors, the legendary Argentinian football team. Other than Diego Maradona, I'm not able to name any of the players seen in the window, but maybe a Boca fan can come on and enlighten us. The next stop on our trip today is the building that was once known as Elks Lodge number 878 in Elmhurst, Queens. The building is no longer owned by the Elks Lodge. Instead, it now belongs to a church. The building was built in 1924 and was once the largest Elks Lodge on the East Coast. It featured 60 rooms, bowling alleys, a 50-foot bar, billiards, and even a ladies' lounge. In the 1960s, this lodge boasted 6,600 members. At the time, that meant it was all male, all white, and only open to American citizens. Right in the middle of this building is the Aztec Theater, and this is a place that holds many great memories for me. In the 1990s, I used to live in nearby Rego Park, not exactly right next door, but at the same time within walking distance of the lodge. The problem that I would always have when events took place here was that it meant I couldn't go home after work first, but at the same time, I was always here super early. I was caught between a rock and a hard place, really. It was too late to go home, but too early for the event. What were the events that I came here to watch every month, though? Well, it was nothing other than ECW Wrestling. When I was a kid, my dad used to take me to the wrestling, where I would get to see all of the British stars of the day. This was the late 60s, early 70s, Giant Haystacks and Big Daddy, Mick McManus, Les Callett, Jim Breaks. You name them. As a kid, I got to see all of the British wrestling stars. So I always had a bit of a background where I would enjoy the wrestling. The American style of wrestling was obviously new to me, but I enjoyed it in a different way. That is, until ECW came along. It was like 25 years ago, so I don't remember the exact dates, but ECW Wrestling used to come to this venue either every month or every other month. And the building itself became so notorious that it got its own nickname, the Madhouse of Extreme. It was crammed full of testosterone-fueled young men, and the heat inside of the building was quite possibly the hottest arena that I have ever been in. It was stifling hot inside. Because the arena was so small though, it was like you were part of the action. The wrestlers were crazy, jumping off balconies, diving into the crowd, and the best ones knew how to use a microphone to stir the already rabid fans into a frenzy. It was like attending a football match in England all over again. So here's a funny story for you. My personal favourites from ECW were the Dudley Boys, especially when they were the bad guys. Bubba Ray Dudley, the white member of the team, was especially known for his ability to wind up a crowd to a point that a near riot would break out. Their shtick was to basically challenge every member of the audience to come and fight them, and they would use the coarsest language and personal insults to try and induce this. I loved every minute of it. One day I arrived early at the show, as I always did, and I hung around because there really isn't many places to hang out in the area. At one point, lo and behold, Bubba Ray Dudley pulls up in the parking lot for the show that evening. There were only a handful of us around, and in my infinite wisdom, I decided that it would be a good idea to go and chat to Bubba. As he is unloading the trunk of his car, he turned his head sideways as I slowly approached, and the story on his face read, "You come within 10 feet of me, and one of us is going to get hurt." The one thing about Richard Arthur is that he is a wise man. So I nodded my head, and I said to myself, I think I will leave him to his business. It looks like he wants some personal time. He is one mean-looking man. One time even my late brother was over visiting me, and I got to take him to one of the shows. He was so delighted when I made him a video from the TV taping that was shown. That showed the two of us in the audience several times. The Elks Lodge has a lot of fond memories for me, and after ECW stopped running events, that was pretty much wrestling done for me. There is nothing that will ever match the enjoyment of seeing an ECW event live. The final part of our walk today, here is a look at the First Presbyterian Church of Newtown, built in 1895.